Good morning, it's Molly Mae from Ponder and Ply here, and this is podcast number 4. I did a 240-mile bike ride from London to Brussels for charity. 27 of us. The first day we cycled from London down to Dover. Beautiful winding country roads, a few challenging hills, a ferry over to Calais, cycled from Calais straight over to Bruges. Lots of countryside, so much headwind, quite horrible. Mainland Europe, not the UK, is relatively flat. By the second day, your butt hurts so bad. Chafing is real, guys. The chafing is real. Bruges with chocolate, a few pints from Bruges to Brussels. All along a river, joined the faster group. I just wanted that shit done. Really hurt. I didn't do enough training. We get to Brussels, I down a few pints, 8%, and I was pissed. Molly, your eyes. They're not there. We have raised £20,000 for Alzheimer's. It's particularly close to my heart. My nan has Alzheimer's and it's quite progressed and it's affecting my family quite significantly, so this is something I really wanted to take part in. How amazing is that? £20,000. So thank you for anybody that sponsored me, and that was a collective team effort. So knitting, what you're all here for. So I haven't done any knitting since my flight to Germany, which was more than 2.5 weeks ago. 2.5 weeks ago. That's unheard of. I knit every day. Knitting is life. So that shows you how tired I was. So obviously on the way back from Germany it was quite late, so I was really tired. Oh god, I'm tired now, excuse me. And so I didn't really get any knitting done. Then I was cycling all for the rest of the week, and then the week which was last week that I've been back, I was catching up on work, coming home, going to bed at 8 o'clock because I've been so tired. And then the last couple of nights where I've been a bit more awake, it's just, I haven't had it in me. I've kind of, the mojo is low. That's what it is. The mojo is low. I'm hoping it will come back, obviously. Otherwise I'll run out of content for you very quickly. I think it doesn't help that I put a bit of pressure on myself. Now I've started doing this and I want to post more on Instagram. That's also been like 2 weeks. I posted in my stories and things, but actual grid post, 2 weeks. Well, the last video, that might be more than 2 weeks. That's like 2.5 weeks. Sorry guys. Okay, I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be better, I promise. I have ordered some yarn the other night from Love Knitting, which is my go-to website. And not sponsored, but if you want to sponsor me, that would be amazing. Anyway, so I ordered some yarn for a new design. It's something I'm really excited about. It's something that I don't have in my wardrobe. It's a garment and it's very autumnal, and I'm not telling you any more than that. This video is going to be about my finished objects. So I am going to talk about 2 finished objects, both of which were in my whips video, which was podcast number 2. Whips as in works in progress. Just before I get started, the last thing I want to talk about is what's on my head. So this right here, I believe was my first ever test knit. I'm pretty sure was my first ever test knit. So it's a pattern by Paige from Knitdiaries, who is a wonderful human being, by the way. And I love it. So the design actually is meant to, this sort of brim here is meant to sort of sit on the edge, and then it's like slouchy and hangs at the back, which is really nice, but I didn't wear it that often, even though it was nice. It's not really my style. And I was messing around the other day and I folded up the brim, see here, it's all folded, really wide, so really high, so that it sits close to my head, and I'm in love. I wear this all the time now. Now it's coming into autumn, it's a bit, I can get away with hats. I am a fan of a hat, a knitted hat. I'm wearing it all the time. I love it. So the yarn is actually 2 strands of fingering mould. So it's like a beigey colour and a plummy colour. I believe it's from Heritage Yarns. This is a long time ago now, so I don't actually remember. But I'm super happy with it, and it's actually really like spongy, like the way that you make it, it's ribbed. It's just, oh, it's like a cuddle on your head. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into what the content of the video is actually about. Grapefruit juice. So one of the finished objects that I want to talk about I'm wearing, but I'm actually going to start with the one that is on my lap. So you saw this when it was almost finished. Please excuse my ends. I haven't sewn in all of the ends yet. So this is my framework bralette. It's safe to say I am very, very happy with this. I have already worn it out, yes, with all the ends hanging out. I actually had it on under a shirt so you couldn't see the ends. I promise I will sew in the ends. This is just gorgeous. It actually took me a surprisingly long time to make. I found a lot of the other test knitters, there were a lot of us, I think 50 in total, finished really quickly. And then I realised, so Jessie's actually done something really clever with, sorry, I should have said, did I say, this is by Jessie May, if you didn't know already, where have you been? Yeah, this is a test knit for her. This pattern actually comes out tomorrow, which is Friday the 27th of September, I believe. I believe that's tomorrow. Well, it's coming out on the 27th. This video, it will likely already be out by the time I've got around to editing this video. So go purchase one, obviously. It's a very versatile pattern, but anyway, it's very customizable. So at the beginning of the pattern, it asks you to take a couple of measurements, including a measurement that helps you find the depth of your bust. So you measure from like your just under your boob to like nipple height, or the fullest part of your boob, sort of vertically, and that determines the length of the bralette. You can obviously make it longer if you want a longer fitting bralette, but if you want one exactly as Jessie envisioned it to be, she has you measure and then add a certain amount of inches to account for the stretch, because if you stretch something this way, it will make it shorter this way because of the fabric that was extending this way is coming out this way. That's a really bad explanation. However, it makes sense. Listen to it. So I thought that it was quite a big number to add on, and I ended up adding on a little bit less than she recommended. And although I'm very happy with it, I think it would have been quite sensible to do exactly what she said. Trust the process. I think that's what I'm going to say. You might think the number's really big compared to a lot of others. I've got quite a deep bust apparently, so mine was quite a bit longer and looked quite bigger off, but on it is the perfect size. So the yarn that I used, so the pattern actually calls for DK. I used DK and 2 strands of mohair. I'm actually really glad that this happened, because then I went down 2 needle sizes, so a full size, and it just means the fabric is much tighter knit, like the finished fabric, which has given me more support. So I used Paintbox Yarns DK, just a spare ball I had lying around, and then Rowan mohair. I initially tried it with 1, but I wanted it extra fluffy, like, because it's so fluffy I could die. So I held 2 strands of mohair with it. And I'm super happy with the finished result, and I love the colour. It's like a peachy, corally, pinky, orangey deliciousness. Yeah, it is. It's one of my favourites, actually. One of my favourites. I've also made my straps a bit shorter than what the pattern calls for, because I found with my ripple bralette, which is another one of Jessie's patterns, I made the straps as suggested, and it ended up just not holding me enough. So I held them just to give me a bit more tension on my shoulders, to give me a bit of support, so that I can wear this without a bra, because my ripple bralettes that I've made I really can't wear without a bra. It doesn't give me any support. So those little changes actually made a huge difference. The pattern itself is really easy to follow. As always, Jessie spends a lot of time describing things. It's quite word heavy. It's not a minimalist pattern, which actually is really helpful, especially if you are doing something that is above your skill set. So for example, say you are a beginner but one of her patterns is more aimed at intermediates, you stand a better chance of following one of her patterns than, I don't know, another designer that doesn't give you as much detail. She also has some She also has some IGTV videos that are really helpful for using the techniques. So the features I really like in this pattern, if I get this in front of the camera, is this. So this little faux seam, I guess, is beautiful, and you actually start knitting it inside out because that's a reverse stockinette, and it magically appears when you flip it out to finish off the cups, which is very satisfying, very, very satisfying. So yeah, I really love it. I think I'm going to wear it a lot. I think I'm mainly going to wear it as a layering piece. And so far I've worn it under like a open check shirt. I can see it under sort of low cut dresses popping out. Maybe if I'm going out somewhere, a pencil skirt, a high-waisted pencil skirt, that on, and then a little cardi that I can take on and off if it gets warm inside. Because I've made it in mohair, this is not going to be a summer top. It's very warm, and therefore I either need to wear it as a layering piece, because when is it cold enough for you to wear mohair but warm enough for you not to have your shoulders or your arms covered? But yeah, unless I'm inside, that might be a good shout. But I'm in love, although it does cover everything in fluff. But yeah, as I said, it should be out by the time this video hits YouTube. So go get your copy. It's a beautiful knit. So the second project that I wanted to talk to you about is something that I've been working on for a really long time. So I checked my Ravelry page the other day and I started this knit back in May. I did speak a little bit before in one of my other videos that I started this project. This project, by the way, is a Marettimo, if that's how you say it. I know I struggled last time too, still haven't found out how to say it. I'm going to go with it. Marettimo Tee by Caitlin Hunter from Boyland Knitworks. Like I said, I started this back in May as a sort of in-between project when I wanted to pick something up that was really simple and not really think about what I was knitting and de-stress and use it as my sort of therapeutic knitting. So I just did a few rows here and there. It's also a hell of a lot longer than anything I normally make. I like cropped fitted things generally. So with this one, I saw a massive gap in my wardrobe. I wanted something that was longer, a little bit looser, that I can chuck on over a pair of jeans or leggings, and it's just a bit more casual and a bit more comfy. So I don't have to have things that are cropped and fitted all the time. I actually really like some looser stuff. So yeah, I am so happy with the finished results. The t-shirt, the neckline is beautiful. It's a really nice length. It's blocked beautifully. My only criticism about the pattern is the arms. So the arms fit me perfect. They fit completely fine. I can get them on and off with no issue at all. However, I do think they're a little bit tight compared to the rest of the pattern. So the rest of the pattern's quite not slouchy fit, but there's a fair amount of positive ease, and I feel like the sleeves should match this. I think they should be a little bit more roomy than they are. So if I was to make this project again, I'm not sure whether I would or not. I'm really happy with this one, but I'm not sure I can think of colours that I would want it in. Maybe I would make it without the lace detail at the bottom and just use it as a t-shirt pattern. Although I've been wanting to develop my own t-shirt pattern. We'll see about that. Anyway, if I were to make it again, I would size up on the arms, but I would literally just pick up extra stitches when I picked up the stitches around the armhole, and just make sure that that was a multiplier for like the right kind of number for the lace pattern on the edge of the sleeve. Yes, but other than that, I am super happy with it, and I have already worn it. This one does have its ends sewn in, so it took me like 2 or 3 hours, because you change yarns quite a lot, and it is quite obviously fingering. I just had to be really careful that I didn't want to see any of the bright greens poking through this neutrally colour. Actually, I should probably, if I can show you here, that's greens at the bottom, and then so when I'm weaving in these ends, I had to be really careful that you couldn't see streaks of them. Actually, while I'm pointing that out, this yarn is delicious. So it is from Beehive Yarns. I requested it and she dyed it up for me. I mentioned in my last video, the main body is called Jilly Bean. It was not a colourway she was doing anymore, but she actually had the recipe for it still, so she made me up a couple of skeins and I love it. And these were some minis that were in the shot that she sent me, and they were perfect because there were actually little flecks of the green, of the two different greens in the Jilly Bean colourway, so it complements it really nicely. I also love green, as you can see, as you all know. I have ginger hair, not natural, and I think green goes really well with ginger hair. So the yarn I am so happy with. It blocked beautifully, it's so soft, the colours are beautiful. I didn't oh, what do you call it? Oh shit, what's it called? I didn't like switch out my yarns. I didn't like jump between different balls. I just used one and then used another one, and it blends and made, like, you can't tell, well, I don't think you can tell where one ball or one skein started and the other one ended. So God, that's really annoying me that I can't think of what that's called. When you do like the helix knitting to make sure that you don't get pooling. So I didn't want any pooling on this. But to be honest, I don't even think pooling looks that bad. I think it looks quite interesting, and then you've got a really unique jumper. I don't know, I guess it depends how it works out. Anyway, I didn't do it, and you can't tell, I think. Anyway, as I said, I think this is going to be really wearable. It has filled a hole that was in my wardrobe of things that are just a bit looser and longer. I actually, if any of you saw my stories, went through my wardrobe the other day, and I got rid of a lot of clothes that I don't wear, that either don't fit, they're really old, or I just don't wear anymore, or are not my style. My style's changed quite a bit. I used to dress very sort of vintage inspired, and although I really love that, I don't really kit myself out in that kind of 50s style anymore. So a lot of that stuff went. Now, I don't have a very clear vision with my wardrobe. I like really interesting pieces. The same with my knits, where I don't really have a colour palette that I stick to. I love colours, so what my general idea is, and what I'm working towards, is to have quite a plain wardrobe, bar some special pieces. Like I have some cool, like, really quirky pattern blazers and stuff, and kimonos that you can throw on, and they're really statement pieces. But the actual sort of bulk of my wardrobe, I want to be sort of quite block colours, plain, classic shapes, pencil skirts, trousers, t-shirts, shirts, that kind of stuff, and then make really interesting bold knitwear that goes over the top, and then that's always my statement or my talking piece. So this, for example, because of all the colours and how much it stands out, would go great over a pair of jeans, a pair of leggings, a plain skirt. And then it would really stand out. If I tried to dress this up with something really sort of garish or bold or out there, it would just be quite clashy, and I don't think I personally would like that. I like that one item that really pops. So I'm really looking forward to trying this all kinds of different ways. Well, thank you so much for listening to me babble on. I will not make this video too long. So those are the two items that I have recently finished. My next FO video may be in a little while, as you know I haven't done very much knitting, but I do hope to get back to it. I have some ideas for quite a few other videos, so watch this space. I'm hoping another one will be up in a week. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm actually really close to being at 100 subscribers. So please, if you enjoy my podcast, you want to show me some support, please subscribe, like, comment, let your friends know that you're watching me and that you're enjoying it. Visibility is really hard when you're starting out. I just would love more people to see my podcast, to give me feedback and help me make this as fun, as interesting as possible, because I'm actually starting to really enjoy myself and getting a little bit less awkward. Yeah, great. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching.